Thanks for joining me, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. That loud sound you hear is the tide coming in, and the waves are crashing fairly close to shore. So low tide was about an hour and a half ago. So I thought I'd wake up early and get the dog on a walk. She's right there, blending in with the rocks. Oh, thank you. Hearts, thank you. I hit it a few times the other day and I got bats, and now I'm not sure how I did that because now I'm not getting bats again. I might just Google the answer. But anyway, so it's nice and foggy again today. Just like yesterday, I did a little scope at Shoreline Park, which is behind me and around the bend. I'll show you. If I kept walking that way a few miles around the bend, which I can't right now because of the water, but if it was super low tide, I could go maybe 3-4 miles, and then I'd be at Shoreline Park, which is where I was yesterday. Today you can see a tiny little speck of Santa Catalina Island, but mostly what you think might be an island in the background is just low clouds. So, oh, you got your ball. Yeah. So everybody's up early. It's Sunday, and Santa Barbara's big with tourists, which means this beach gets very, very crowded on the weekend. So I'm lucky because I got up early and it was low tide, so we could come here before it gets too crowded. The only thing is I have to get past those rocks there before too much water comes in, which we can do. So anyway, out taking pictures, of course, and walking world's cutest doggy. It's just me today without my sister's dog because I don't live with them on the same property anymore. Morning. So there's no way my sister's gonna wake up early and drive down the mountain road. So I'm on Instagram, of course, AlexandraFunFit. If you want to share this, just swipe left on the iPhone or swipe, I think it's bottom to top on the Android. Hold on. Somebody found a little pool of water. Okay. Let's see. Let's get up and over here. So this is the usual beach. I was actually going to go to a different part of the beach today, but we were out of doggy little bags, and this beach has them. Oh yeah, we're just in time because when I walked this way a few minutes ago, the water wasn't quite this high. I am wearing flip-flops, so, you know, in theory my feet could get wet, but I'm a princess. I don't want my feet to get wet. So, this is Hendry's Beach. That's the unofficial name that everybody calls it. The official name that nobody calls it is Arroyo Burro. So if you look on locations and it says Arroyo Burro, that's the same beach. Oh, what a happy girl. She likes to jump in the pools. She doesn't actually like to go in the ocean or swim. She just likes to jump in the pools and then jump out or sit down if it's really hot. So because we have these bigger waves, we've had a swell the past few days, like maybe 6-7 days. So people have been surfing right by the parking lot. So right now I am facing sort of to the west, and that's UC Santa Barbara, the university in the background. Yesterday I was going to garage sales trying to find a paper towel holder and a TV stand, stuff like that. And I went to an estate sale there in Hope Ranch, which is the very exclusive area. You can see a couple of the homes there on the hill. The house that I went to had nothing. I was very sad, but I was excited to see the inside of a Hope Ranch home because normally they have gates and you can't see anything. And the home I saw, I think, was representative of before it got super ritzy and popular. Because it was a very, very old home that was probably somebody's weekend home from LA. So LA is 100 miles away. And long ago in the 40s and 50s, a lot of people in the movie industry would buy little beach cabins that they called beach cabins up here and come up for the weekends. And now, of course, they're $7 million, $10 million homes. So this is our pretty morning view of Hendry's Beach. And again, everything you see in the background that looks like an island is actually just clouds, except for that one tiny bit. There you can see one tiny bit of Santa Catalina Island. The clouds are really pretty. My fingers are crossed for rain because we need it. Speaking of the drought, which I'm about to, the ocean is going to become our water in the next couple years. I moved away from Santa Barbara in, what was it, 88, I think, 88, something like that. I moved away, 90, 92, something about like that, a long time ago. And they were starting to think of a desalination plant. There's a pelican. Oh, that dog wants that pelican. I got a picture the other day at UC Santa Barbara of a pelican eating a fish and swallowing it, so I put it on Instagram right when it swallowed the fish. But anyway, so years ago, back in the late 80s, early 90s, they started up the plans for a desalination plant, and it was super expensive. A desalination plant means they take ocean water and take the salt out, and then we have drinking water. But it was super expensive, and then the drought ended because we had some great storms, so they sort of put it on the back burner. And now with the droughts we've been having the past few years, it's back in the works and is expected to be up and running. I think it's by 2017, and it's going to be very, very expensive. But in the long run, it's going to be a steady source of water and less expensive than importing water from Canada, which we've done in the past, if you can believe it. So the ocean will become our water in the next few years. So we're almost, I'm going to keep walking until you can maybe see some of the surfers. There's only about 4 or 5 out. Oh, here's a group I passed earlier that you might enjoy. It's 2 humans and about 10 dogs. So they must be doggy daycare. And when I came the other way, they had like 2 dogs sitting away from the group, like little camp scouts or something, camp guards. And all the other dogs were sitting in a circle around the dog minders. So here we kind of have the same deal again. The lady with the blonde hair and the red backpack seems to have most of them around her. And then that really huge fluffy one right there was the outlier. He was just sitting there. Is that a Bernese mountain? Do any of you know? Is that a Bernese mountain? That is one pretty dog. Okay, let's see if we can see the surfers from here. It's starting to get crowded again, so I'm going to have to put her back on her leash in about 200 feet. But yeah, check it out. The Pied Piper. She's the Pied Piper with all these little dogs. How many dogs are you in charge of?
Are you recording?
Yeah. I saw earlier you had a whole circle of dogs around you. So
it's about 8.
About 8. Okay, so she had 8 of them. My favorite is the huge, huge one. The one that slobbers the most. Alright, so before I sign up, I'll get you a little close-up. There we go. There are the surfers. Only about 4 or 5 of them this morning. So I'm going to say goodbye. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time.